And welcome back to Who Would Win, the week Who Would Win, doing this one before I go to work. And that's at least the nice thing about the Who Would Win is that when I'm on a tight schedule in the morning, I can at least crank one of these bad boys out before I have to go to work. This comes to us from Sheridan Road, who asked the question, who would win the fight? Doomsday, the not ever evolving, but near impossible to kill Doomsday machine of the Marvel DC universe, versus Crawler from, I think this is a video game called Worm. All I know is it's something called Worm. This is this is a franchise I know jack about. This is one of those times where I know absolutely nothing about the character, so I had to look into it. So let's get over to Doomsday first, real quick. We know his backstory. He started out, I believe it's actually ancient Krypton it actually all happened on, as a child who was jettisoned out into the prehistoric wilds of the planet, killed God knows how many times, brought back, had the remains brought back, reconstituted and reformed, and came back stronger than ever every time. Stronger and immune to the thing that killed him. Until he ultimately became this hulking doomsday of a monster. He found his way to Earth eventually, and was able to effortlessly, but was able to kill Superman. Obviously, Superman actually survived, but yes, he's the one who ultimately killed Superman. He has grown stronger since then. He is capable of going toe-to-toe with the strongest of DC Universe's opponents, including Superman himself. Darkseid, he once tanked Darkseid's Omega beams. Once tanked his Omega beams, punched through the Phantom Zone. He's capable. His mere existence was like setting wildebeest on fire. He's capable of tagging light speeders, no problem. He's got the only way they ultimately ended up defeating him was by setting to the very end of existence itself, very end of time itself. And even then, I'm sure he's going to find a way to come back as comics. So, Doomsday is exceptionally powerful. Crawler, though, apparently is no slouch. In universe, he is a being that is capable of adaptive regeneration. Sorry, it's still early, and the TV is distracting me. But he's capable of adaptive regeneration. Basically, as long as he survives the hit that's done to him, the lethal strike, as long as he survives it, he will come back stronger with a new adaptation. As it stands, it says he doesn't have any control over what he adapts into. It's just why he looks the way he does. But he is capable of coming back from some severely powerful things, including to the point where now he can kind of just shrug off small nuclear blasts and just walk through fire with no issue. He's armored. Even his organs are armored. He's got multiple eyes all over him. That's what those red dots are for. He's also a masochist. He loves pain and being hurt and tortured just so he can get stronger, I believe. He also loves causing pain and torture to others as well. And he does, though, have a legit weakness, and that is his core, which is somewhere in his body. If that were to be struck, he would straight out die. He does also have a weakness where he cannot block unavoidable attacks. But the context of what unavoidable means, or all out means, as it says in the game, that's context. It's hard to say. Although anyone with an ability that could actually immediately target his weakness, target his weakness, who should be able to just like theoretically, if you had the ability to like Hachigen from Bleach, if you had the ability to actually teleport a portion of your body or teleport like energy into the body of the individual, and if you were to somehow he was somehow able to know where the core is, that'd end him. So the question just becomes, who is stronger, the already ever hulking nightmare that is Doomsday, or the powerful and somewhat hulking nightmare who could ultimately become powerful enough to take out Doomsday, theoretically? The answer to that is a little hard to say, because apparently Crawler can regenerate so fast that he regenerates 100 pounds of flesh within like seconds. But Doomsday, in terms of raw power, is still, God knows, leagues beyond him. So no matter how strong Crawler currently is, Doomsday is literally on a level that is far above his base. So, who would win the fight? If Doomsday could one-shot him and take his core out at the same time, it would be Doomsday. Because apparently he will get proportionately stronger based on the damage dealt to him. But I don't know. But there is apparently a cap to how much stronger at any given time he can get. So even if Doomsday goes all out on him and he survives the attack, he can't regenerate enough to close the gap between him and Doomsday, at least not initially. That being said, however, like I said, Doomsday could go toe-to-toe with Superman, can go toe-to-toe with Darkseid. Pure raw strength, strength-wise, means he could literally punch this guy so fast and so hard, because he can also tag light speeders like the Flash, that he's just going to end up ripping up. That he's probably going to just tear right through him and probably end up getting the core. So I will probably go with Doomsday on account of that their base gap is far too wide. If for some magical reason Crawler could survive the initial strike from Doomsday, then you might be thinking, well, this shouldn't have been in the speed run. No, actually, because you actually need to do a lot of calcing on this. When you have two individuals who can adapt and regenerate, that's a different scenario. Excuse me. But if for some reason he misses that initial strike, the gap gets closed, I think, quite a bit. It does not get closed completely. It gets closed quite a bit. But then the problem becomes, let's hypothetically say Crawler gets to the point where he can kill Doomsday. It's entirely possible. It might take forever, but it's entirely possible. Doomsday himself will just come back because he probably doesn't have a real way of ignite. Basically, he doesn't have a way to destroy his existence or annihilate every last bit of Doomsday. As long as a part of Doomsday is around, he's going to come back because Doomsday lacks organs. He doesn't have a brain or a heart. He evolved past that. And so Doomsday will come and just beat down on Crawler again. And then you're just getting a vicious cycle. But because one, what's the best way to play it? Because one of these guys actually has a way to actually die, unlike Doomsday, who will just die and then come back, I would go Doomsday in this fight still. Still, though, this is just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you folks for the next one.